All right, now I'm going to skip around a little bit. I'm not going to go through every single part of this next section with you. This is another thing that you start with, usually with biology, is you do what's called the levels of organization. And you can see here you start with atoms, and you actually can start with the subatomic particles, something we're going to get to here in a second. And you can gradually build up all the way to this, well, organ systems, which is a whole organism. And then in biology, you kind of take it a few other steps here: populations, community, and then the ecosystem. Well, in your PowerPoint for this section, this is a great little schematic, and it actually starts, it does go in a different order. So we can go like our outline here, but see, here are molecules, atoms put together. And then you have what are called organelles, which are little things you find inside of a cell. And then you have full cells, individual cells, and there are some organisms that actually exist at that level. Bacteria, viruses, which are very popular right now, they're considered acellular, which is kind of different. They're not technically alive till they get inside of a cell. But yeah, bacteria, some protozoans, they stop at that level. And then here you have tissues, which are groups of cells that have a common function. In this case, we're building what looks like an iguana here. So here are organ systems and organs. So that's lungs, heart, and respiratory system, cardiovascular system, digestive system. And then you have the individual organs within that. And then you have whole organisms, which you see it right there. And then in the biology world, they can exist as populations and communities. Like, for instance, off of South Africa, there are sea lion communities. It's one of the reasons that great white sharks are always there. It's part of their diet. So people who study that, they go travel out to these little coastal islands off of South America. And anyway, great whites are found there. An ecosystem would be like the rainforest, a desert, foresty area. And then the biosphere is the entire planet. All right, you have to know the correct order this goes in. Okay, you got to go all the way up, all the way through there, and then kind of go from there. Okay, these are some terms, and actually, I'm going to stop it there. So these are characteristics of life. I'll just let you go through these. These are things that almost every single organism on our planet has in common. Some kind of organization, a metabolic rate, an idea of homeostasis, which is just maintaining a constant internal environment. This is a great slide. It's like the whole teeter-totter, and then you see you have balance here, and then unbalance. And I have this picture here. This is, it's called simple goiter, but this is what happens when homeostasis is not able to function properly. This is actually an iodine deficiency, and something else we're about to talk about. There are things that are required for an organism to function properly, and they're called elements. Some are bulk elements, some are trace elements. But yeah, in this case, she has an iodine deficiency. But I'll let you read through these. I wanted to get to this. Probably the only time I'm going to do this, because most of the time I'm going to have this filled in for you. But matter is anything that takes up space and has mass. Or anything that has mass and takes up space. Either definition. Matter is what everything is made of. Now, elements, and you probably saw the little periodic table in biology course when you were growing up. And of course, I don't have one here, of course. But let's see if I got one on my other PowerPoint. Nope. Sorry. So, yeah. Anyway, elements composed of identical atoms. Elements are what make up matter. I'll try to do this quickly. So, periodic table. I really thought I had one on my PowerPoint. There they are. I think this is one this one I've clicked on before. It's a little bit of an interactive one. There's the periodic table. So you have all the elements. This happens to be a pretty simple one. I will point out one thing, and I believe this is one that's interactive. Yeah, it is. You can click on these different things. I'm going to get rid of that. So I'm going to click on, that's nickel. So there's the atomic number, and down here is what's called the mass number or the atomic weight. And I might just post this on here's fluorine, excuse me. There's the atomic number. Down here it's called the mass number or the atomic weight. All right, that's some basic chemistry. All right, when you go to break down a person, okay, and I already have this here, that's great. This is a great chart. These are all bulk elements. You see oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen. Those are considered bulk elements. Have to have those in large amounts. Otherwise, can't sustain life. Trace elements are all of these. And you see calcium, phosphorus, potassium, even iodine is right there. Iodine is a trace element. And it's actually not enough iodine causes this. And if you don't have, if you have too much or too little of these, it can cause some health issues. But yeah, these are all, so these are trace elements, and of course these are even smaller. But that's everything that makes up a person. Now, the main thing here, you know, if you're talking about human beings and things on our planet, we are 65% oxygen. That's the major bulk element. Carbon is second, and you see hydrogen is third, and then nitrogen is fourth. So that's the top four. Oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen. All right, so, and these are considered trace elements. Definitely know what these four, as far as the order, kind of we're primarily an oxygen, you know, 65% we are oxygen. Okay. Now and I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop this here, and I'm going to come back with another video, and then we'll go through this. And then we only have a couple more things to really cover. So I'm going to end it there, and I'll come back with these atomic number, mass number.